Is your small business growing? That's the question we address right here on the Grow Your Biz Show. This is the place where I interview strategic entrepreneurs who can help you to navigate your niches, to perfect your pitches in order to what? To grow your small business. Hi, I'm Paul Madsen, host of the program, and I'm very excited to bring you episode number 62. Number 62 of the Grow Your Biz Show, and we're just happy to have you along. More than that, I'm happy about my guest today. My guest today is Sherry Dickmeyer, and she is the founder and owner and runner and all hat wearer of Fit Girls Inc. And we're going to talk a lot more about Fit Girls Inc. It's just, Fit Girls Inc. Sherry, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
I'm super excited to be here.
Well, great. I'm so glad we finally got together. We've been trying to schedule this for a long time, but it's going to be worth it to the viewers for you to be here. So thanks again.
You're welcome.
So, Sherry, let's just jump right in. We're going to, well, before I do that, I had one comment for the viewers, and that is this. Normally, we are in a situation where we interview for-profit people who are forming businesses and starting companies with the idea of profiting. Mm-hmm. This is exciting today because your organization is a nonprofit. Correct. And what I'm telling people is that, and you'll tell them better, is that is a bigger challenge than for-profit because what? You have to deal with a lot of rules.
Yep.
And volunteers, which we'll deal with. Let's get started with the big question. Sherry, what business are you in? What benefits do you provide out there?
Yep. Well, our nonprofit focuses on young girls, ages 8 to 16, and we proactively help them lead healthy lifestyles, basically through physical, nutritional, relational, and mental exercises, empowerment camps, and physical fitness exercises.
And so that gets them off the couch? Is that what the result is?
Yeah. By the age of 10, most girls are starting to become very sedentary. Over 80% of them are pulling out of sports and any type of physical activity. And by the age of 14, 1 in 10 are doing enough physical fitness to benefit their health.
1 in 10?
By age
1
14.
in 10. Well, that's a lifestyle habit thing then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And so you're here that leads right up to my next question, which is, why are you in this business? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, well, this has been a journey. I had a marketing business prior to Fit Girl as well as the Health and Wellness magazine. Okay. The Health and Wellness magazine focused on adult transformations. And at that time, I started connecting with the fitness industry, meeting a lot of amazing people here in Omaha, and researching a lot of information pertaining to nutrition and physical fitness. And I saw a gap. I also have 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. At the time when I started this, they were middle school, getting into high school. And observing them and their friends, I started noticing some things, as well as when I was working with the magazine, that girls were becoming more sedentary. Right. I played sports growing up. I noticed that a lot of girls were no longer participating in sports. I received a call from a coach at one of the middle schools here in Omaha saying that he can't even get girls to try out for basketball.
Wow. Couldn't get them out for organized school sports.
This year, yeah.
This year, that recent, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I started getting calls like that, seeing things like that, and I thought, something needs to be done. Somebody needs to do something about this. Wow. Now, at the time when I started putting this all together, I didn't know it was going to be a nonprofit. So back in 2015.
Because you were self-employed in a for-profit business. So this is not some airy-fairy idea of yours. You've known what for-profit businesses are and how much shoe leather that requires. But I'm interested in the transition. When did you figure out that this should be a nonprofit versus a profit?
Yeah.
Before you answer, a good joke. Some for-profit busineses are nonprofit, not by design. Anyway, Anyway, so when did you make the transition?
So back in 2015, I actually was sitting at the College World Series talking to my daughters. I think at that time, one was having some issues with friendships, and it was carrying on through a chat room. Okay. So, and I started seeing how social media was having a big impact on girls' body image and self-confidence. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to throw a summer camp. I have all these connections now in the fitness industry. I'm going to throw a summer camp together get the best trainers out there. We're going to get some role models, and we're going to see what happens. So we went out to Lake Zorinsky. We had, in 30 days, 65 girls sign up. We actually had 2 families from Colorado drive in.
Wow.
They were just typing in empowerment and found our camp.
You just decided to,
and then
you're sitting
after
there
that,
going through what your daughters were watching what your daughters were going through, and you said, there's got to be more. There's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
And so you decided to jump into it. And was it the nonprofit versus profit decision? Was that at that point?
No, this was just, I had it under my magazine and my marketing umbrella, basically. There wasn't really any fundraising. You know, we had some sponsors, but it was a small fee-based, program.
Sure.
It was all week. But after that, we had actually all the news stations out there.
Oh, wow.
And the Omaha World Herald.
Good. Wow.
So after getting all that publicity,
Sure.
and then parents calling and emailing, they're like, you got to keep this going, you got to keep this going. I'm like, all right, well, how do I keep this going?
Yeah, okay.
So
that's when you
that's when I decided,
for,
I started asking others, what should I do? Should I make this a for-profit, a nonprofit? And I talked to a lot of people in the nonprofit world, which I think is key before you start out doing a nonprofit. We do have a lot of nonprofits in Omaha. I think all of them are amazing, but there are some things that are geared for nonprofits, and some that maybe need to stay for profit.
Right.
So I had to ask a lot of questions, and sometimes you don't know the questions to ask either.
Well, you don't know what you don't know.
Right. But I had the marketing background. I had the connections in the fitness industry. So, and I run 100 miles an hour, so I knew I could do something.
I knew that's true.
But you need balance in your life as well. So I tried to figure out, how do I keep paying the bills and put the nonprofit together.
Well, with a nonprofit, then you're able to go out and actually solicit donations.
Right.
Whereas you do that in a for-profit setting,
it's a little different.
It doesn't work very well, probably.
Yeah.
But and were there some? Your daughter was kind of your inspiration in forming the entity. Were there some other family issues or anything involved?
I had my mom passed away at a very young age, and after she passed away, I really started looking into how I could better help my girls at an early age take care of their health.
Sure.
I grew up, and my mom, amazing cook, but she passed away from colon cancer.
Okay.
And over 85% of colon cancer deaths are preventable with
really?
diet and
Wow.
exercise.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a huge red flag for me. How do I help my girls at an early age adopt a lifestyle that's going to take them into adulthood, that they can pass on.
I think it's fantastic that you saw what your teenage girls were going through in chat rooms and friendship issues, and you also had the personal story of your mother and kind of the wake-up aha call from there. Wake-up call
just
from
kind of
her
tied
health
it
and
all
all that.
together.
Tied it together with your health and wellness background and
Yep.
your fitness industry background, and out came this and talked to a lot of people. That's good advice, is to talk to other people who are doing similar things, or other people who are in entities where you might live, and you got lots of. Did people you interview or talk to say, "Oh, this should be a nonprofit," Sherry?
Yeah, you have to talk to a lot of people, and then take the information and go where your heart tells you.
Yeah.
Because you really have to be passionate about the cause.
Yeah.
Because it is hard work, but you have to. It has to get you up every morning. Because every other day I'm like, I
sure.
can't do this anymore. I'm sure. Really,
I'm sure.
when you talk to other.
Well, you go 80 hours
leaders,
a week, right?
Yeah. At the beginning you do, and you have to. I think you have to know that going in, that the first couple years is going to be hard.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the stamina to get through it, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
I knew that just owning my own business.
Right.
But I had no idea how much more there was to the nonprofit world.
Well, let's talk about that.
And kudos to the leaders out there in the nonprofit world. Yeah, it's tough. It's hard.
Think about it, viewers. If you say, I want to start a business, and it's so hard to get customers and things like that, and then think about it from Sherry or other nonprofit agencies, entity, because not only you have to figure out how to pay your payroll and pay people, but Sherry has to figure out how to get people to do things for what?
For free.
For free. So that's a real
Please help me for
motivational, expertise to do that, right?
Yeah, especially in today's time. Everybody's busy.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a full plate.
Yeah.
So you definitely need to be you need to have the personality that people want to follow.
Good point.
Yeah, you definitely need to be a great community leader, hone in on those skills.
Right.
So that people get just as excited and passionate about the cause as you are. Because yeah, you're leading a volunteer army, and they've got other things they're doing. And if they're sacrificing their time for you, then they're leaving something else behind.
Right.
And you better be important, enough to get that time from them.
You have to be inspirational, have the leadership, have to be able to motivate others and things like that.
Yeah, and you have to sometimes make it about them as well. With our program, we have a lot of college girls and mentors walk away saying, and we just did one last week at Creighton where we had a panel of 5 women speak about bullying. And Shauna actually facilitated it. But we had, a doctor,
Shauna Dorsey, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, actually.
Yep, and she facilitated it, and these women spoke about their bullying experiences, and we call it from bully to boss. And and what they went through, and they're busy women, and to get them to come and donate their time, when they left, they're like, wow, that was really empowering for me. So I think, it has to be well-rounded. What are they going to get from it as well? Not that everybody that's going to give time needs to get something from it. That's not, usually why people donate their time for nonprofits. But, they need to walk away feeling good about themselves, that they made a difference too.
And that's why I ask you about your why, and you've told us personal, family, daughters. You've told us fitness industry. You've told us, just the leadership and giving back thing. I mean, those are all important whys. Well, your volunteers have to have a why as well.
Exactly.
They have to have a reason, a benefit, so to speak. Sherry, there's lots of organizations out there that have similar missions, perhaps, or I can think of a few maybe, or service to girls or whatever. Tell us what makes Fit Girls Inc. a little different than them.
Yeah, so when I was researching after the summer camp, and I was researching whether to nonprofit, profit, how I'm going to put this together, there's amazing organizations, sports organizations, gyms that focus on the fitness piece, that help kids with the physical aspect. And then there's behavioral clinics and organizations in mental health and counseling that focus on the mental piece. I wanted to put something together that bridged the two. So we combine physical fitness in tandem with empowerment workshops. And it goes hand in hand, because it's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Right, in case someone doesn't know, tell us what an empowerment workshop is.
Yeah, so we, our 12-week empowerment classes, we focus on a different topic each week. And it's usually topics that the girls are dealing with in middle school, late elementary and middle school. So last week it was bullying. We talk about diversity. We talk about teamwork. We talk about substance abuse. We talk about body image. We talk about self-esteem and confidence, how to handle difficult feelings, how to be community partner. So there's different things that we focus on each week in the curriculum.
So it's not just girls coming out and getting a workout and going home.
No. We have hands-on activities so that they're engaged and that they understand, what we're talking about. Because we start at age 8, which, in a lot of cases, third grade, and go all the way up to age 16. So our curriculum is different based off of the maturity level of the kid. So we might talk about bullying to all of them, but there's different aspects of bullying as they move through. We as adults still get bullied, right?
That's true, I have a friend of mine who, Facebook was becoming more popular, and people my age didn't grow up with computers necessarily, and he's my age, and I said, Jim, are you on Facebook? And he said, I tried it for a little while. He said, all my high school friends were on there, and he said, I felt like I was back in high school, so I dumped it.
Right?
Who wants that again in some cases?
Who wants to feel like that again?
All of a sudden, all the old cliques were coming back. And,
it brings back some bad memories sometimes, doesn't it?
So he dumped it, and so social media, talk about that. How does, I guess you kind of have already, but how does social media affect these girls, and what can your organization done? I know you have some success stories within that.
Yeah, absolutely. So social media, at age 9, that's when a young girl's self-esteem starts to plummet. So kind of going back to that chicken and the egg, you know, we can sit and talk to these girls about empowerment, and we can talk to them about bullying. But if they're not eating well, if they're not sleeping, if they're not getting physical exercise, or they don't have great role models in their lives, none of that's going to ever matter.
Good point.
You know,
Yeah.
so the physical aspect is huge. It, you know, it releases serotonin, endorphins. It helps them feel good about themselves. That's why I love working with the college athletes. They're great role models, and with social media, the whole focus is on now body image, and that's what I started seeing, especially with my girls. So they're comparing themselves, as we as adults do as well. Maybe we're not focusing on the body image. Maybe we're focusing on, oh, John got a new house, he got a new car, and we start, everybody feels this. If they don't, they're not admitting it, but when you're online and you're seeing somebody on a great vacation or a house, you start feeling deflated.
Absolutely.
You're like, oh my gosh, I'm working 80 hours
he's
a
in
week.
Mexico again, you know, like, wow.
Yeah, and how do I get that life, right?
Exactly.
And you start feeling bad about yourself.
Exactly.
These kids that don't have the maturity level to, you know, we eventually get off Facebook and go, okay, you know, I'm grateful for this, I got this, I got a good life.
Right.
They don't have
a frame of reference
the process.
for that.
No, they can't. So what they're doing is seeing all these images of girls, or they're not getting invited to parties, and their self-esteem starts going down more and more and more.
Do you have a couple of specific examples of
you know, we had
girls who've helped along the way?
and it's, you know,
in general, I mean.
I think parents need to understand that girls, the body image is a big, big deal. A lot of girls don't participate in volleyball because they don't want to wear the shorts.
Sure.
A lot of, you know,
I can see that.
chestier girls don't want to play because they don't feel comfortable with how fast they're developing.
Right.
It seems so silly maybe to some people. Well, it's a big, big deal to these girls, and we're losing out on these girls participating in sports and making friends because of stuff like that. So these athletes kind of show them that the focus needs to be on what your body can do and not what it looks like. So we try to take that focus away, and that's why I love working with the college athletes. They're all different shapes and sizes. They're focused on academics and teamwork. They're great role models for these kids. But we've had girls where, for confidence, we had one young girl that was really, I think she was in 4th grade, real young, that vomited in the lunchroom cafeteria.
Okay.
That was so traumatizing for her that
4th grade,
her mom couldn't get her back into the cafeteria for a couple years. We had our empowerment director work with her for about 8 months and do some baby steps, and I think by the time she got in 6th or 7th, we got her back in the cafeteria.
Wow.
But she was, the anxiety, she was so worried about what kids were still going to think from something that happened 2 years ago.
Well,
we had a high
kids can be cruel, though.
Well,
I mean, it can be really cruel, so that's neat how your organization helped facilitate something we as adults think is so silly and simple, but when you're 8 years old, that's your whole world.
It's your world, it's your life. We had a high school girl that was eating her lunch in the girls' bathroom for 3 months.
Wow.
Because she had so much anxiety on going to a table full of girls and asking them if she could eat lunch with them. It actually consumed her whole day.
Wow.
So she gets to school at 8, all she's thinking is about, what am I doing at lunch? What am I going to do at lunch? Gets to lunch, goes, I just can't do it, goes into the bathroom, and would rather sit on a bathroom stall
instead of eating
eat.
Alone and with a group of people looking at, she's eating alone. How many movies have been made about that? You know?
Many girls and boys that are dealing with that today. The anxiety, because they're so worried and they just don't have the confidence in themselves to say, I have something to offer. I'm a great person.
Well,
if these guys don't accept me for who I am, then I'm going to go find another group that does, but they don't have that skill set.
No.
So that's what we're trying to help them with. You know, we have kids.
Well, it's a holistic approach you're giving me. I hear you know,
it's
physical,
like mind, body,
mental,
soul.
self-esteem, and it's all wrapped together. I'd forgotten how, you know, the endorphins from exercise can help them in so many other areas as well.
Absolutely.
So I really like how you tie all this together.
You.
That's really neat and just a great way to go, I think. Well, tell me, I mean, this is as many great glory stories and success stories as you have. I know it's been hard along the way to have a nonprofit, to get it off the ground, to get space, to make camps, to get volunteers. Tell us about some of the speed bumps along the way and how you've gotten over them.
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of things wrong, but I've also done a lot of things right, and you don't get to the right until you do the wrong. I think first and foremost, you have to be vulnerable and ask for help. So I had this marketing business and I had this magazine, and I thought I was perceived a certain way. So it was hard for me to ask for help because I think both men and women do this. We look at it as a sign of weakness.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So we don't want to ask for help.
Especially men. You know, I'm not going to ask directions.
Right.
Heck.
Right. So if we're not asking for help, then we're going to recreate the wheel and spend more time doing things that somebody that's already laid the groundwork could help us with.
Sure.
So I had to get over that. I hired a consultant for 4 months, and she kept saying things that I would just like, ouch, but I needed to hear it.
Yeah. Well,
but
that's
she's like,
good.
get over yourself.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And I think we let our
Think
ego.
of the time she saved you.
Yes.
Think of it.
I
yeah.
had to walk away going, she's right.
Yeah.
But you have to admit that. You have to put your ego
Any
aside.
one little thing in particular?
No, not in particular. I mean,
not that you want to be vulnerable with.
well, no, it's just, I think it's just a full, well-rounded, when you're working on your own by yourself as an entrepreneur, you get stuck in certain ways of doing things. That's why you're an entrepreneur, because you want to do things that way.
Yeah, I do my own thing.
Yeah,
right?
but there's other ways, and maybe you're like, no, I'm not going to try that way. So I don't know. She just, was kind of telling me, listen, get out of your way, go this way. And I think it's more ego-based, pride, vulnerability, but also not be so fixated on the stuff that's not going right. And I actually have a recent example.
That's a good point.
So on Facebook, I did a poll. And I was asking for some feedback, knowing, when you open that can of worms, when you ask for feedback, you're going to get some stuff.
Right.
And so I had just post after post, moms saying, great, this is what's happening with my daughter, this is a great program, and they were commenting, and then I had one that was bad.
Okay. And what'd you fix on?
For a day.
For a day.
I focused on that one.
So
then I'm writing notes. How do I change my program? What do I got to do? I got to change the program now, right?
Oh, man. And we do that. Why do we do that?
We do that. We focus on that one negative, and I had to go back and look at the 20 that were positive and say, you know what?
Wow.
What am I doing? I can't. And my brother, wise man, Mike, he sits on my board. He's like, Sherry, you're not going to be all to everyone. And that was a good point, and I think I learned that early on, but you have to remind yourself. I spoke with somebody a long time ago, and I'll never forget this, and he's a leader in his industry, and he's like, as entrepreneurs, we want to do it all, and we have a million ideas.
Right.
And he's like, focus on one thing and do it better than anybody else. Because we want to go all these different directions because we have all these great ideas, but nobody can really make something really great if they're focusing on 10 other things at the same time.
That's really great. It ties in with a quote I heard recently. I think it was Richard Branson said, no one can touch you if you're the best in the world at something,
Yeah.
Pick your thing, and you're picking your thing, and these are great tidbits of advice for entrepreneurs and for how they get over their speed bumps and what the whole thing about get coaching, be open to people, helping you, focus on the positive, not the negative. I love this one. You don't get to the right thing until you get through the wrong things.
Right.
I think that's the name of our episode here. that's really, there's always a nugget.
Get through the wrong to get to the right.
I gotta save some time here for you to tell a little bit more about the successes of your summer camp. It started with what numbers and ended with what numbers, and what workshops do you have coming up and so forth.
Great. Well, thank you. So back in 2015, we started with 65 girls at summer camp. We are now at over 200 girls every July, ages 8 to 13. I know.
That's awesome.
I would love more, but there's no more cabins at Platte.
Oh,
we rent them all. So
you maxed out.
we might have to find a bigger campground.
Wow.
Love Platte River State Park, though. Very accommodating for our camp. And we had 45 people on a wait list last year after the 200.
Wow, you do need more of a facility.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll grow. We'd like to expand into Lincoln and move outside of that. But then we also have 2 12-week empowerment programs.
Okay.
So September through December, and then February through April. And they're on Sundays for 2 hours.
Okay.
So we focus on each week a different topic, and then the fitness for the young kids, we do really fun games. I mean, they love them, really fun games. But they also get yoga and mindfulness, which is super important. I really think, and I think schools are adopting this too, that mindfulness piece is going to help kids become more compassionate and empathetic. It focuses on breathing techniques, but getting them present in the moment.
Awesome.
And when they're present in the moment, they can feel what others are feeling. They're more compassionate and empathetic that way. And yoga, I think, is just huge. You know, all these kids are not going to be softball players and basketball players and volleyball players. And so that's another differentiator, I think, for us. I'm not trying to push a particular sport. If kids are in sports, I would love them to continue doing what they love to do. But, you know, quite honestly, 3% of kids get college scholarships. We need to bring the play back into the game, not make it so expensive for these families, and let these kids have an outlet just to play. And if you ask them why they want to do sports, in the top 10, winning and competition isn't even in there.
Well, and
it's
that's what you told me, and they could get out there and enjoy it, and that's what I love about Fit Girl Inc. is that you can help these girls to get out there and enjoy activity, enjoy sports, and show your self-esteem, the whole well-rounded, holistic package, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, we go kayaking, paddleboarding, hiking, biking, so they don't have to necessarily be involved in an athletic or club sport.
You can still be active and the benefits from that. Well, that's fantastic. Sherry, how do people reach you and learn more about Fit Girl?
Our website is fitgirlinc.com. Our phone number is 402-830-8108. You can find me on Facebook too and shoot me a message, or email me at Sherry, Cheri, at fitgirlinc.com.
fitgirlinc.com. Perfect. And thank you so much. As we wrap up today, I wanted just to summarize, she has so many great ideas for entrepreneurs. Get coaching, focus on the positive, focus on one thing at a time, go through the bumps to get to the right area. It's all good for all entrepreneurs, and we thank Sherry for what she's doing in the community and for girls. I think it's a fantastic outreach and a fantastic program. More power to you, more good luck to you. Also, she didn't ask, but I'm going to say, of course, her organization, Be Nonprofit, is of course open for donations as well. Visit her website to learn more about that. Visit my website, growmedia.com, to learn about my opportunity to help you with defining your niche and to perfect your pitch. I'm doing this more one-on-one coaching lately, and it's just fun. People tell me, oh, I didn't know that about myself, but they get out there and do it, and it's a great time. So growmedia.com will help you out with that. Sherry, you've been a great guest, and you have a great service.
Thank you.
Thanks. Come back again, will you?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll see you at next episode of the Grow Your Biz Show. Thanks for joining us, and thanks again, Sherry. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.